What does it really mean to be remembered forever? Is it wealth, fame, being in history books or on a million screens? Or is it something quieter, something deeper? Some of the most powerful lives ever lived were never written about. They never stood on stages, never went viral, but they changed everything for someone. They left ripples in hearts, in homes, in generations. This video is for you. If you're carrying stress, anxiety, financial burdens, or feel like your life doesn't matter, because I promise you, it does. And in these next few minutes, we're going to rediscover the quiet, unshakable legacy of the forgotten and how you can live in a way that lasts forever without ever being famous. Chapter 1. The Power of a Forgotten Life. There once was a woman named Fatima. She lived in a small village. She never traveled, never owned more than 3 dresses, and never used a mobile phone. But every evening, the neighborhood children would gather around her doorstep. She'd feed them lentils, tell them stories, wipe their tears when they came home crying. And when the rains came, she was the one who had extra blankets and a kind word for everyone. She died without ever being mentioned in a newspaper. But decades later, every one of those children grew up speaking about the woman who made them feel safe. You won't find her in textbooks, but in the hearts of those kids, she's immortal. That is what legacy really means. Not attention, but impact. Not likes, but love. The myth of the big life. We live in a world obsessed with achievement. We're told that to matter, we need to be seen. You must hustle, be somebody, make more money, have followers. But what if the truth is simpler? What if it's not about being known by everyone, but being known deeply by a few? What if your legacy isn't the house you build, but the way you made someone feel safe in their darkest hour? What if you don't need to change the world? Just change your corner of it. Difference between real legacy versus noise. There are billions of people who quietly shaped others. The teacher who believed in a student when no one else did. The father who gave up his meals to feed his kids. The stranger who paid for a bus ticket when you were stranded. These people are forgotten in history, but unforgettable in someone's life story. And that's what real legacy is. Not headlines, but heart. Quote, Mother Teresa, you may not be able to do great things, but you can do small things with great love. That's what this video is about. Helping you realize that even if you feel small, stressed, broke, or forgotten, you have the power to matter forever. In the chapters ahead, we'll explore how to build a life of meaning, even with no money. How to deal with stress, anxiety, and doubt. How to create impact without needing a title. How to leave behind something beautiful, even if you're struggling today. Because sometimes, the people who leave the deepest mark are the ones no one ever noticed. Chapter 2. What actually lasts? Legacy beyond wealth and work. Let's ask a powerful question. What really lasts when we're gone? Is it the money, the job title, the achievements? No. People remember how you made them feel. They remember the tone in your voice when they were scared. They remember the time you listened when no one else did. They remember your presence more than your possessions. So if you're worried about not having enough, not earning enough, not being enough, because you may already be giving the greatest gift of all, your presence, your kindness, your humanity. Now, let's look at the science of significance. Psychologists call it generativity. It's the feeling that your life matters because you're leaving something meaningful behind. And here's the truth. Even people struggling with financial worries, depression, or anxiety can still experience deep fulfillment when they shift from achievement mode to legacy mode. Legacy mode is when you ask, who am I impacting right now? Who feels stronger because I exist? How can I make someone's life just 1% better today? Let us talk about the legacy shift in action. Imagine a father struggling to pay rent. He feels defeated, anxious, ashamed, but every night, he reads his daughter a bedtime story. He shows up, even when exhausted. He holds her when she cries, and tells her she's brave. In her world, he's a giant. He may feel like he's failing, but she will remember him as the man who never gave up on her. That's a legacy. It's not the size of your bank account. It's the size of your impact, measured in love, in time, in truth. Finally, the reflection moment. Close your eyes for a moment. Who impacted your life the most? Was it someone rich and famous? Or was it a grandparent, a teacher, a neighbor who smiled at you when no one else did? Now ask yourself, who might be thinking of you the same way right now? You are already someone's legacy in progress. Chapter 3. Lessons from the Forgotten. Let's go deeper. There are people throughout history who didn't make headlines, but left behind legacies of gold. Let us talk about the seamstress who saved a nation. During World War II, in occupied France, a woman named Marie was a seamstress. She had no weapons, no fame, but she hid coded messages in the lining of uniforms. She mended for soldiers. She saved lives. One stitch at a time. She wasn't in any history books, but generations are alive today because of her quiet bravery. Also, the farmer who fed souls. In Pakistan, there was a man named Haji Karim. He owned a small wheat farm. He wasn't wealthy, but every Friday he made extra roti and handed it out to anyone hungry. People remember him as the man who never let anyone go home empty-handed, not just with food, but with dignity. His photo isn't framed in a museum, but he's framed in the hearts of hundreds. The grandmother who taught empathy, and maybe you've had someone like Umayyan. She never learned to read or write, but she taught her grandchildren how to listen, how to forgive, how to cry without shame. She didn't change the world, but she changed theirs. So, what do these forgotten legends teach us? Legacy isn't loud, it's lasting. Meaning isn't in the spotlight, it's in the shadows, where real love grows. Your smallest actions may be someone else's biggest turning point, so never underestimate yourself. You are a story someone else will tell one day, with tears of gratitude. For viewers facing stress, money, worries, or anxiety, if you're watching this while feeling stuck, maybe bills are piling up, maybe your job feels meaningless, maybe anxiety is clouding your joy, breathe. You are not broken. You are being forged like iron in fire. Your value isn't measured in dollars, likes, or applause. It's measured in how kindly you speak, how patiently you endure, how generously you give, even when it hurts. This chapter of your life, it's not the end. It's the foundation of your story. 3 quick mindset shifts to build a lasting legacy today. Shift from outcome to presence. Don't chase the perfect result. Show up fully in the moment. That's what people remember. Shift from "I'm not enough" to "I matter now." Even in your mess, you are enough. You're still showing up. That counts. Shift from "I must fix everything" to "let me love one thing today." Just one act of care can echo across a lifetime, and I quote, "Do not wait for leaders. Do it alone, person to person." Mother Teresa. And in that one-on-one love, you become unforgettable. Chapter 4. How to create a legacy without being rich, famous, or successful. Let's break the myth once and for all. You don't need money, fame, or big achievements to be remembered forever. You just need 3 things: presence, principles, practice. Number 1, presence. Show up when it matters most. People won't always remember what you said, but they will never forget that you were there. Be there for someone on their worst day. Answer the phone when your friend is struggling. Hug your child like it's the last day on earth. Sit silently with someone in pain. That kind of presence leaves a mark deeper than money ever could. Number 2. Principles. Live by values, not just goals. What values guide your life? Not career goals, not income targets, not followers, but values like kindness, integrity, patience, courage, forgiveness. People may forget your achievements, but they'll never forget your character. You can build a resume or a reputation, but one will fade, the other will follow you into every soul you touched. 3. Practice. Small, repeated acts of meaning. Your legacy isn't built in one day. It's built in tiny, often unnoticed choices. Saying thank you when you're tired, choosing honesty when lying would be easier, giving when you feel empty, listening deeply instead of interrupting, apologizing without defending yourself. These choices aren't flashy, but they build a life that matters. Let us try doing a legacy exercise. Take 30 seconds. Really do this with me. Ask yourself, what do I want people to say about me when I'm gone? Who do I want to be remembered as? Write it down. Just one sentence. Because once you know that, you can start living like it's already true. You don't have to be rich to be wise. You don't need a big stage to be a big presence. You don't need a perfect life to be someone's miracle. Remember, legacy isn't earned. It's given freely. Here's the truth. You don't have to earn your worth. You already have it. The love you give, the struggles you survive, the laughter you share, they already matter. You might not see the results today, but someone is watching you, learning from you, drawing strength from your quiet courage. Real-life legacy builders. Let's zoom in on modern-day heroes, not on magazine covers, but in everyday life. One Zara, the single mom. She works 2 jobs, comes home exhausted, but never forgets to ask her kids about their day. She doesn't feel successful, but her kids say, "She made me feel loved every single day." To Usman, the retired janitor. He cleaned floors for 40 years, never missed a day, always greeted people with a smile. Now, the staff he mentored still say, "He taught us more about life than any manager ever did." 3. Nina, the Uber driver. She keeps water bottles, phone chargers, and mints for passengers. One day, a crying woman said Nina's kindness stopped her from making a terrible choice. Nina had no idea. She just showed up with care. These are the people who will be remembered. Not because they tried to be remembered, but because they tried to be present, kind, and real. Peter Stroppel said that legacy is not leaving something for people. It's leaving something in people. And you're doing that right now, even if you can't see it. So, if you're carrying pain, you're still building legacy. To those watching right now who feel broken, maybe you've lost your job, struggled with debt, battled with anxiety or depression, felt like nothing you do makes a difference. Please hear this. You matter most when you think you don't. Pain doesn't disqualify you from being remembered. In fact, your resilience is your legacy. Someone is watching you survive right now and gaining the courage to do the same. These are the 5 simple daily practices to build quiet legacy. Give 1 compliment a day. You never know who needed to hear it. Write 1 kind message to someone. A text, a note, a comment, anything. Be honest, even when it's hard. Integrity is rare. Be the one who keeps it alive. Listen without interrupting. Listening is one of the most generous things you can do. Keep showing up, even when you feel invisible, because consistency builds trust, and trust builds legacy. Chapter 5. Living like it matters. Daily habits to create a life that echoes. Let's talk about how you can live like it matters, starting today. No need to wait for the perfect job, the perfect body, or the perfect moment, because legacy doesn't wait. It's being written every single day in the way you live, love, and listen. Let us talk about daily habits that create lifelong echoes. These aren't habits of the rich, they're habits of the remembered. Begin each day with a quiet intention. Before the world shouts its demands at you, take 60 seconds. Ask yourself, what kind of presence do I want to be today? Not what do I need to do, but who do I want to be? Patient, kind, bold, peaceful. Start with identity, not productivity, because who you are shapes how people will remember you. Number 2, be a messenger of uplift. Send one uplifting message each day. A voice note, a text, a smile, a sincere "how are you?" Really? This habit is underestimated. But ask yourself this: when's the last time someone said something that made you feel seen? Now become that someone every day. Number 3, slow down enough to notice. The people who are remembered forever notice the small things. They see when someone is withdrawn. They hear the tremble in a voice. They sense when someone's faking a smile. They aren't mind readers, they're mindful. So slow down. Look someone in the eye. Let your presence say, "You're safe with me." Number 4, give without an audience. Some of the most unforgettable acts of kindness happen when no one is watching. Drop off food at a neighbor's door. Leave money in a stranger's hand without a name. Volunteer anonymously. Pray for someone who will never know you did. These are the moments that build quiet, permanent legacy. Number 5, tell people what they mean to you. Now, don't wait until people are gone to say what they meant to you. Say it now. You inspire me. I'm proud of you. You changed my life. You matter so much. These words can become someone's anchor on the darkest day. And someday, those same words may be spoken about you. So, what happens when you start living like you matter? When you shift from performance to presence? When you stop chasing attention and start cultivating intention? You feel lighter. You stop needing to prove yourself. You start focusing on connection, not competition. Your anxiety softens. Your confidence grows. Your relationships deepen, and even your money stress begins to shrink, because your worth no longer depends on a number. When your life becomes about meaning, not metrics, you start to live in a way that outlives you. Now, take a breath. Ask yourself, who have I helped recently, even in a small way? Who can I lift up today? What small act could I do right now that my future self would be proud of? That's legacy. And the beautiful part, it's not something you leave behind. It's something you live every single day. So, this is the summary of daily legacy habits. Let's recap the 5 daily habits that create ripple effects. Set a daily intention rooted in who you want to be. Send one genuine message of love or encouragement. Slow down to truly notice the people around you. Give anonymously, generously, and quietly. Speak your love out loud while people are still here to hear it. These don't take money, they take heart. And that's what people remember forever. Shannon L. Alder said, "Carve your name on hearts, not tombstones. That's how you outlive your own lifetime. Not through statues, but through souls you touched." Chapter 6. When you think you don't matter, the truth about invisible impact. Let's be honest. There are days when you feel invisible, like nothing you do is enough. Like the world wouldn't even notice if you disappeared. Maybe you're struggling with financial pressure, anxiety that won't let you breathe, a job that drains you, a body that's tired, a heart that's lost its rhythm, and in those moments, a dark thought whispers, "What's the point?" Let me answer that for you, clearly, truthfully, and with love. You matter because you exist, not because of what you achieve, not because of how much you earn, but because of who you are already. If you've ever held someone's hand in silence, offered your last meal to someone else, smiled at a stranger just to give hope, survived one more day when you wanted to give up, then you've already made an impact greater than most headlines. What is the invisible impact? Some seeds take years to bloom. Some trees grow deep roots before anyone ever sees a single leaf. Your legacy might not be visible yet, but it's growing underground. Every time you forgive instead of hate, care instead of complain, stay kind while suffering, you are planting something eternal. You may never know who you saved with your softness, who felt seen because of your smile, who didn't give up because you didn't give up, but someone out there remembers you because you lived with quiet goodness in a loud world. In the end, final stillness. If you're listening to this right now, I want you to place your hand over your heart. Feel that rhythm. That's the sound of purpose. That's proof you still have something only you can give. You're not forgotten. You're not behind. You're not too late. You are becoming. And your life, even if it feels small or broken, is part of a much bigger story. Final words. How to be remembered forever. So how do you live a life that echoes long after you're gone? You don't need to be famous. You don't need to have it all together. You don't need to wait for a sign. You just need to love deeply, show up fully, forgive freely, and give quietly, because legacy isn't what you leave in your bank account. It's what you leave in people's hearts. Be the reason someone believes in goodness. Again, be the reminder that soft people still exist. Be the light in someone's darkest hour. That's how you're remembered. Forever. If this message touched you, don't just watch it, live it. And if you believe more people need to hear this truth, share it with someone who feels forgotten. Because maybe that person is waiting for hope. Subscribe for more soul-deep wisdom and quiet courage. And in the comments, tell us, who is someone forgotten that you'll never forget? Until next time, keep showing up, keep being kind, and know that your story will echo through time.